Hey, welcome to Second Chance Youth Ranch TV. Our special guest on this show is Jeff Richardson with Simmons Bank. He's also an advisory council member on our board and on our Banquet. So don't go away. We'll be right back. Hey, welcome to Second Chance Youth Ranch TV. I'm your host, Perry Black, and on this show, we have a financial guy, a banker, Jeff Richardson with Simmons Bank.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I just saw that there's a comedian coming to Simmons Bank Arena downtown.
There are. There's concerts, comedians, you name it. We're having all kinds of stuff.
Well, y'all spent all your money downtown on that arena.
We did. We did.
And then COVID hit, so God bless you. Hey, Jeff, tell us a little bit about you. As all of our guests always ask, what you going to ask me on the show? And since our guest always ask the question, all of our folks who watch the show, they know what this is not scripted. But we also always try in the first segment to get to know the guest, because it just kind of makes things more personal. And we want people not just to hear what we say, but that we want them to know who we are and what is our big why in our heart. Why do we do what we do? And how does Christ, Jesus himself, play a role in our daily living, even down at the bank? I'm probably not going to go to that comedian event because I've seen him on YouTube. He's pretty funny, but some of his stuff's a little crude. And you probably didn't approve that yourself.
No.
But what role does faith play in our lives is what I always want our viewers to know, because that's why we do what we do. It's really why we are who we are. And I always want people to know that. So tell me a little bit about you. Where'd you grow up?
I actually was born and raised here in Central Arkansas, and then when I was 9, we moved to Louisiana and spent a couple of years there. And then
You were just born in Central Arkansas, somewhere like out in the cabbage patch?
Well, I was actually at Baptist Hospital in Little Rock.
In Little Rock.
But I actually grew up here in Saline County in Bryant.
In Bryant.
When I was in 4th grade, we moved to Louisiana. My dad got transferred, and then when I was 15, we moved back and went to Hall High School and graduated from Hall High School.
Boo.
Graduated from Hall. Go Warriors.
I heard that Hall High School just went to 8-man football.
Probably so. I know that when they did all the magnet schools, I think it was one of the last ones that didn't become magnet, and so a lot of the kids went to the magnet schools.
Well, of course, everybody knows probably by now I'm a Little Rock Central guy. My 50th school celebration, what do you call it, reunion.
Right.
Actually, because of COVID, we didn't have it last year, so we're having it this fall, but I'm not going to that either. But we played Hall High School every Thanksgiving. It was called Turkey Trot.
Yes.
And it was our big Turkey Day game. And I was really surprised because Hall has always been such a big school. What year did you graduate?
93.
Wow. I think that's when Leah graduated Bryant here, my oldest daughter. So you're 47 or 48?
46.
Well, that's close.
Real close.
Yeah. I took algebra twice. So didn't you and your family attend First Southern Baptist for a while when you were in the Bryant area?
Yes, before we moved to Shreveport, actually, that's where we attended, and that's where I was actually baptized by Brother Bill Lewis.
Why'd you get baptized?
Well, I found the Lord.
I always tell everybody, you didn't find him, he wasn't lost.
This is true. He found me.
But you were a young guy, didn't you say 7 or so?
6.
6 years old, gave your life to the Lord.
Yes, and I still remember it like it was
So
yesterday.
you're a terrible sinner.
That's right. That's right.
But the fact is we're all born with a sin nature, and Jesus is the solution to the sin pollution.
Absolutely.
So y'all moved to Shreveport, and then how'd you make your way back up this way?
So my parents divorced, and my mom's family all was here, and so we came back.
Dad's in Dallas, though. Or?
My dad is currently in Dallas with my stepmom, and then my mom and I came back here when I was 15, and we've been here ever since.
You came back here at 15, and that's when you went on. Well, at 15, did you go on into the 9th grade or 10th grade at Hall?
It was halfway through my 10th grade year when I started at Hall, and then graduated from there. And then from there, went to UALR and Pulaski Tech for some schooling. But that was pretty much 19 years old is when I got into my banking career.
Really,
as a bank teller.
As a teller.
As a bank teller.
Well, I'm a teller. I tell my wife to do this and that.
Mine tells me.
I tell her, I didn't say she does it. I just said I'm a teller. So tell me, at 19, where did you start banking at?
The old First Commercial Bank, which eventually became Regions, but it was the old First Commercial Bank at 9th and Interstate 30 was where I actually got my start.
Downtown. And then it became Regions. So you worked for Regions.
I did work for Regions, and then went to work for a company called U.S. Bank, which a lot of people know, and then from there went to Bank of the Ozarks, which became Bank OZK, and then in 2018 I transitioned over to Simmons Bank.
So let me explain to the folks how I met you.
Okay.
We were dealing with a major bank. We were not happy with the service that we were getting, and you were with Bank of the Ozarks, Bank OZK now. And you came in with Alan Jessup, and y'all were talking to us about how you could help resolve some of our banking issues. Now, in the midst of my story, Alan Jessup, his family, the Jessups in Northeast Arkansas in Jonesboro, I lived on the Jessup farm with my dad and my mom and my siblings. And that's where we had foster kids and everything else. On the Jessup farm, out on the highway going to Walcott Lake, for those in Jonesboro know what I'm talking about. And they know the Jessups because they had a feed mill, cotton gin, on Johnson Street, just a block and a half off of Main Street. So people know that. And I looked and I said, Jessup, are you kin to any Jessups in Jonesboro? He said, well, that's where I'm from. And I said, well, do you know William Jessup? He said, that's my daddy. But you kept coming in as the representative of Bank OZK. And of course, let me tell you also, Alan married a young lady from our church.
Okay.
And
I
then
didn't know that.
And then she started going to church with him at First Baptist in Benton. So anyway, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. But then I kept saying to you, so where do you go to church, Jeff? You know, you're talking about doing our banking business. I want to know, can I trust you?
Right.
And you said, well, I live in Cabot.
Yes, at the
And
time
I said,
we did.
And I said, well, Jeff, a church alive's worth the drive. And you said, well, I don't know that yet.
This is true.
So, but we ended up transferring our business to the bank that you were with at that time, which was Bank OZK, and still do. But you moved on in your career to another company, which is Simmons. But before we get to that, we've got 45 seconds. You're married.
Yes.
And your wife was raised Pentecost.
Yes.
You were raised Baptist.
Yes.
And y'all couldn't find a local church to worship in.
No.
She wanted a Pentecost experience. You wanted a Baptist experience. And because I continued to hound you because you came back to the office, and I said, so Jeff, when are y'all moving here? And you said, well, we've already moved here. And I said, then where are you going to church? Well, we can't find one. I said, then you need to come.
And I did.
And you did. And now your wife loves the church. You love the church.
Yes.
And on occasion, we love each other.
That's right.
So if you're looking for a great church, do like Jeff. Come on by and see what we're doing. A church alive's worth the drive. And if you don't want to come to church, see him at Simmons Bank. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
A mission field around you is filled with young hearts needing a forever family. And at Second Chance Youth Ranch, our team is committed to providing healthy, stable, loving homes and families to hurting children in the Arkansas foster care system and those up for adoption. Please contact us if you feel the tug at your heart to help foster or adopt, and find out the steps you could take to help fulfill a child's lifelong dream. Maybe you can't foster or adopt, but you could help. The need for thousands of children in the system is staggering. But with the help of faithful partners and business alliances, we are meeting those needs right now. Would you help us make a difference? Every gift, regardless of size, impacts a child's life directly and helps provide for a home in the gap right now. Visit the Second Chance Youth Ranch website at 2CYR.org to read more, watch the stories, and to make a contribution for a hurting child's care. Monthly partners are needed, so please contact us right away. And as you partner with this ministry, you are partnering with the Heavenly Father that has promised to be Father to the fatherless. God bless you for helping Second Chance Youth Ranch.
Hey, Jeff, a church alive is what?
Worth the drive.
But y'all moved out this way.
Yes.
So you and your wife, Julie, have been married for how long?
18 years. Don't put me on the spot.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it could always end any moment, you know, if you don't know when you got married. But let me tell another story. You guys started coming here. We weren't really Pentecostal enough for Julie, and we weren't quite common Baptist enough for you. But y'all migrated through that, and God started doing a real work in your life, her life, and in your marriage, really.
Absolutely, yes.
Because when Jesus comes to the surface of our relationships, it gets pretty awesome. And one night, your mother, who back then was around 75 years old, she came up and said, I want to meet you. God's doing something in my kids, and I want to know about this place. And so she started coming.
Yes.
And then she started bringing your grandma, who back then was around 95 years old or 93.
Right.
And her name's Meemaw. And Meemaw said, I just love you. You're the sweetest preacher I've ever met. And I love Meemaw. Mamaw. And so now at one time, and then your sister Shauna started coming. She's a realtor in Saline County, Shauna Reed. And then her daughter started coming. Her name? Kelsey. Same birthday as mine, November 13th, if you're taking notes.
Yes.
And your daughter, Jenna, who's now in what grade?
7th grade. She's been here since she was in K4.
So for about 8 or 10 years, we had 4 generations here. We celebrated Mamaw's 102nd or 103rd?
102nd.
102nd birthday. We let off balloons and all kinds of stuff. We sang happy birthday to her. She's now talking with Jesus and walking with her husband in heaven, and life is good.
Yes.
And this show's really not about you, Jeff.
That's okay.
This show is about our banquet, which is in October for Second Chance Youth Ranch. And our goal this year is to raise $400,000. And tell me, how did you get involved with Second Chance Youth Ranch?
Well, when I came and started coming to the church, she started hearing about the ranch.
You bet.
And seeing the kids from the ranch at the church. And I always said you could tell a ranch kid whenever they were here, because they were the ones that would open the doors for everybody. They were the most polite, surprisingly enough, because of the structure that they were getting at the ranch. And just seeing that, I thought something's different, something's going on. So I started doing a little bit more research about the ranch. And then the first time I ever went to the ranch was around Christmas time. And everything was decorated with Christmas lights, and it was like going to Silver Dollar City.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
And it was beautiful, and got to see a lot of the kids, meet a lot of the kids, and from that point in time, I was hooked. I was hooked.
And now you're serving on the advisory council for the banquet. Is that what you do?
Yes.
You and Ryan Fagan, Billy, Rachel.
Yes, Wally Pollock. There's several of us, and that was one of the things that we worked on. Was the ranch banquet was always held in Little Rock
downtown.
When it started downtown, and I made the comment. I said, we need to get this thing in Saline County. You know, the ranch is in Saline County. We need to get this thing moved to Saline County.
I'd been telling Billy and Rachel that for a couple of years.
We won't tell them that though.
And they're like, well, but you know, we're downtown. It's central. And you know, and they didn't understand quite at that moment why it was so important to have the banquet in the same community and county that the ranch is. And the Little Rock people come here, they don't mind.
Right, well, and that's the thing, we get support from all over the state, but, you know, or all over the country, but it needs to be in Saline County because that's where the ranch is located.
Well,
that's
and you were also, you know, let's be honest, a little clarity here, you were the president of the Benton Chamber of Commerce, so you knew all the people that make banquets and conventions successful.
Correct.
And that was a real key element in bringing it to Saline County, to the Benton Convention Center.
Yes, sir.
Because you knew the caterers, you knew everybody that we needed to know that some of us didn't know personally.
Yes, sir. And I hooked everybody up with Billy and Rachel, and we had several meetings where we tested food for the banquet itself, and met with everybody and saw the venue, and then everybody was like, yeah, let's do this. And so we've had, I believe this will be the third that we've had at the Benton Event Center, and it's been successful.
Yeah, and the first one was huge. It was the biggest we ever did. And then last year with COVID, the audience was about almost half the size.
Yes.
But the income was almost twice the size.
Correct, because God's powerful.
He is powerful. Matter of fact, from our proceeds from last year, we have built and completed our beautiful, I forget, is it 5 or 6 bedrooms, 3 or 4 bath foster home here on our Saline campus, along with our other 2 foster homes that are in town. We just this week purchased 2 brand new vans because, you know, when you've got 10 people living in the house, you just can't drive just any car.
Right.
And so we bought 2 vehicles. GMC and Everett's, GMC and Ford were really helpful with getting those vans for us. We've been on a search for months. We've also got a new lot in Benton that as soon as we have new house parents, we're going to build that house. So the proceeds came in and we're using those. Can you tell us a little bit about the banquet? We got a minute 40 in this section of the show.
I believe we're going to have about 300 to 350 guests this time. What we're looking for is just donations from the individuals that attend. As you mentioned, businesses. You mentioned $400,000 was the goal this year. It's going to be on a Tuesday night, October the 12th, I believe, and I'm excited. It's always a great event. Usually we have one of the kids that have either been at the ranch or currently at the ranch speak, and that's probably the most powerful part. Bring your hanky.
I do. I bring my
your
Kleenex.
hanky.
I'm a mess at these things.
Yes, and Rachel does a phenomenal job as well.
Yeah, hearing the testimonies, and of course sometimes some of our students actually come and they're there at the banquet.
Yes.
We don't ever call them out or point them out, but like you said, you can always pick them out because they're always the sweetest and the kindest and the most polite.
You know exactly who they are. That's correct.
So our goal is $400,000 this year. And for those that are watching, one of the main things we're going to be doing is we're going to be expanding some of our foster homes where we need more bedrooms. With our sibling groups, and we have sometimes rather large sibling groups, we need some extra bedrooms added to our houses. And I'll do all that supervision of that construction. And I do that for the Lord, and I do it for His kingdom. I don't do it to make money, nor would I ever. But I have connections like you and Celine. I have connections in construction, and we're able to get guys to come out and do work for us and improve the life and the life experience of our kids. We'll be right back with Jeff Richardson.
Hi. Shut up. My name is Anye. I'm the star of the movie.
No, you're not.
What's the name of your show?
It's Sister Trouble. I'm 14.
I am 7.
I play sports, play volleyball, I do basketball, and I do track.
What's your favorite sport that you do?
My favorite sport is volleyball. She's goofy and she's very flexible. And she likes making new friends. We like doing TikToks together. I'm a savage. Classic, bougie, ratchet, acting stupid. What's happening? What's happening? I'm a savage. Oh my God.
What do y'all want to be when you grow up?
I want to be a fireman, or I want to be a police.
I want to try to go to medical school and be an anesthesiologist. And then, I also want to go to culinary school and learn how to cook and stuff. Because I like watching Chopped and MasterChef Junior and all that stuff. I love watching them shows like Cake Wars and Sugar Rush. I like watching those.
Do you guys want to stay together?
No.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Why do you want to stay together?
Because I'm like my sister's protector. And I like to watch over my sister and make sure she's good and stuff like that. I've been to 11 different schools in my 8th and 9th grade year. And it's going to, it's starting making new friends, and then next you have to leave and leave and leave. And because from moving from home to home and stuff like that, it's hard to adapt and to different environments every time. And I just like to be with my sister. And I also want to be get adopted by someone I know and someone I could actually trust. We might fight a lot and stuff, but we actually do love each other. I just love my sister.
I want a nice family that really wants us.
All right, last question. If you could each wish for one thing, a serious thing, what would you wish for?
To being a good family and also to just stay with my sister.
And their mommy and daddy that really wants us.
Well, whenever my sister go, I'll go with her.
Bye. See you tomorrow.
Oh, I think it's over by now.
Oh.
Oh, I'm still going.
Oh.
Welcome back to Second Chance Youth Ranch TV. I know, as I always say coming back from breaks, the stories in these shows touch your heart and life. I know there's business people watching, Jeff. This show is a very popular show at 11 p.m. on Victory Television Network. And I know it's popular because God, by His Spirit, draws people, just like He did you to Family Church. Absolutely. He draws people to watch this show. But we're not here simply to entertain you. We're here to inform you and to get you engaged in changing hearts and lives. And I don't know of a better opportunity than the ministries that we put on this show that you need to be involved in and support. And when you support one of us, you're supporting all of us, because we're all doing this to change hearts and lives of hurting people and hurting children, hurting families. Jeff, you've been involved at the ranch for a long time. Your family's engaged in our church. Your child is engaged in our school. Mm-hmm. You serve on the advisory council for my board for the ranch. Mm-hmm. Have another banker serves on the church advisory council. Mm-hmm. You're also on the school advisory council, mm-hmm. correct? Mm-hmm. Well, you have been.
Have been.
You and Dr. Tracy Van Ness and Wally Pollock. What are y'all kicking off?
We're leading the Booster Club.
Booster Club, which is all about athletics mm-hmm. and how to make our school better.
Yes.
And there's just a lot of moving parts in this ministry.
A lot.
And a lot of opportunities to do something.
Yes.
And we don't want anybody watching to be left out. If you could take just a moment and look at that camera right there, that one right there,
all right.
And tell folks, business people, bankers, all the people that know you from the Benton Chamber, etc., why should anybody be involved and engaged in making a difference through Second Chance Youth Ranch?
Well, primarily it's seeing what's going on with these children. When you see the ways that their hearts and lives are touched by the things that are going on, you know, these kids have things that happen to them that they have no control over, and to see how the ranch has benefited them, that's the most important piece, and we need the support. And so I plead to everybody out there, if you have opportunities to support an organization, support the Second Chance Youth Ranch, because it's a great organization.
Yeah, God laid it on my heart, something like this, and when I got born again in October of 1972, and to now see God through His faithfulness bring this to this point, and we're not even close to being finished. Our goal is to help every hurting child in the state of Arkansas, and the way we're doing that is not just through the ranch. As important as our ministry is to us and to those that we minister to, through Project Zero, mm-hmm. The Call, Family Council, the ladies ministry that Susie Everett started in Benton, the Baptist Home. I grew up and spent 3 years at the Methodist Home. There's so many wonderful organizations. Mm-hmm. So why the ranch? Well, because we're involved. We know what the lives that are being changed, don't we, Jeff?
And I'm seeing it. I see it every day. You know, my wife and I at one point in time actually talked about adopting one of the little girls from the ranch, just because, I mean, these kids, they're just amazing. And what you're seeing happen in their lives is really
And
cool.
what do they want, Jeff?
They just want a family and somebody to love them.
How simple is that? They
it.
want a family. And that's the thing that makes our ministry, Second Chance Youth Ranch, somewhat unique, even though there's wonderful ministries in this state, and I've left out a whole lot of them. We have a local church that is fully engaged mm-hmm. in the ministry of Second Chance Ranch. We have a private Christian school that any ranch child that wants to come can attend our school. We'll scholarship them. We have people that are scholarship them. And then we have the ranch. And the ranch is 300 acres. We've got 4 current homes out there. Mm-hmm. I was talking to somebody Sunday night, and we may be building some more with the proceeds of this upcoming event in October.
And it's beautiful out there.
And it is beautiful.
And
out
when
there.
when first time I ever came through the gates, you can just feel the presence of God there.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place, and to me, it's a dream come true. And our goal is to continue to work with other organizations, network together, and bring solutions to kids in care, and to give people who are watching the opportunity to mentor or to adopt. But this show is, honestly, we'll just tell you, this show is really designed to raise funds. This particular show right now is about fundraising, because if we can raise the funds, we can raise more kids.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to give my life away till the Lord takes me away. And you can be a part of this.
Absolutely.
$1, $5, $10. You know, there's kind of a magic number. You know what it is? Whatever God speaks to your heart.
Right, exactly.
And Jeff, anything you want to say, as we've got about 2 minutes, that would kind of capsulize everything we're believing God for this event?
$400,000, that's a goal. I would love to see well more than that. But there's so many other ways that you can support it, support the ranch. We always get involved in the Angel Tree Project for Christmas. We try to have events for them to be able to do some type of vacation. Yeah. There's all kinds of opportunities, and those things cost money. Yeah. And that's where the businesses in the community and individuals in the community can support. And as you said, building more houses. It's so heartbreaking for me to hear about a child that, I've heard the stories of kids sleeping on couches in the DHS office or DCFS office, and that's sad. Where, with this funding that we can receive, we can build those additional houses, and these kids have a place to go. And, the cool part about the ranch is I know they're loved there. I've worked with the families there. It's a touching heartfelt place, and I know these kids are loved there, and that's all they want.
That's what they want. They want to be loved. They want a family. They want somebody to tell them how important they are. And Jesus died declaring openly, with his arms nailed to that cross, declaring the value of every person, including you. If you don't know Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, all you got to do is what me and Jeff did. You did it at 7, I did it at 20. Jesus, come into my heart and save me, man. And he did.
So simple.
And he does. And he loves you. But once he comes into your heart and you receive his free gift of grace and mercy, he says, now freely you receive, freely give. We would love to hear from you. We would love for you to make a divine connection and change hearts and lives through the ministry of Second Chance Ranch with your prayers and with your financial support. God bless you. Thanks for watching the show. We'll see you again next week right here at Second Chance Youth Ranch TV.